Or more than tapped it, it broke it. 9330 was throwing the code and said it was low on hydraulic oil. Hey, welcome to the farm. Today we've got Case IH coming with a 8250. It's Tuesday of the week. Had a good day yesterday. Just coming out of a 3 or 4 day rain out. The hurricane passed through, dumped a bunch of rain on us, but ground's dry enough to harvest, corn's dry, beans are getting ready. Great day to be at the farm. Come join us. So last night the 9330 was throwing a code that said it was low on hydraulic oil, and whenever I got to the crossing, there was a hydraulic blowout where the oil was leaking from one of the remotes. And more than likely what we have here is on John Deere hydraulics, there's a little barrel inside of these spindles, and it has an internal O-ring on it, and that internal O-ring, when it gets really hot and worn, it'll blow, and oil will start just gushing from around the fitting. And I changed the first two and it wasn't the right one, so I have two other options it could be. So I'm going to try this one next, but more than likely, since I'm trying this one, it'll be in this one. I think this one, I'm not the auger wagon man, so correct. If I'm wrong, Christ, I'm sorry. Number one opens the gate, and the gate is what allows the grain out of the hopper into the auger. Number two would be the spout, I believe, and it just rotates the spout, allows the operator to direct the flow of grain. And number three folds the auger in and out. And hopefully that's where our problem is. That's probably where I should have started. By the time the X9 dumps twice, you better be looking for a truck. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so what we have here is just a dust cover that's keeping the dust out of the hydraulic system. You can see the oil leaking out from the bottom of the remote. So if you've never changed one of these before and you want to know how to do it, there is a little ring in here, and it's frustrating, but it's just a little coil, and it's not a snap ring or anything. It just gets you a tiny screwdriver and work it out, and it's a little bit frustrating. Right there, it's just a little O-ring. That cut. Pretty common problem if you're running Deere equipment. This is something you're going to see pretty often. Just over time, that wears, and it could be like, it depends on the conditions. The hotter it is outside and the harder the equipment's working, the more these things go out. What I've seen out of John Deere is they don't have many short or loose ends they don't tie up. This is a loose end they've never tied up. I wish they'd change it. Probably because I think those barrels are $300 a pop. At the concaves, we have Fent wanting to demo a combine, Case wanting to demo a combine, and Mother Ben wanting to bring a Mother Ben. So, okay. Sweet. Everybody wants to be on YouTube. Oh, you dirty rat. Yeah, so we've got all the maintenance done. They're just finishing prepping the bin site. The dryer's already running this morning, so we're going to go back to the back of the place and harvest some corn before our dryer or wet bin runs out. So, already been out once this morning, but we had to load a truck on the corn that saved us. So, our head and stuff is all run by a power takeoff, just like the tractor has, and the power takeoff on a combine is up there by the throat, and it if you see that shaft right there, that shaft drives the chains and the rollers on the head. Okay. Basically what you have is the rollers spinning, drawing the product in, and the chains dragging it to the center of the machine. And then the table auger, what you see running down the length of the head, brings it to the center and comes into the machine. And there's a what they call a feed accelerator turning like this, and it's slapping the product down, beginning to separate the grain from the material, basically just beating it up some. And then the crop mat this machine has 2 rotors. A lot of them just have 1, but the material from the left-hand side of the machine goes to the left-hand rotor, material from the right-hand side goes to the right rotor, and it begins to corkscrew the product through, and it'll just, it begins to separate the grain from the plant, and as it goes back, it'll be hit with air and a shaking screen, and those shaking screens sift the chaff from the grain, and then the grain goes up to the grain tank back here behind us, and the chaff comes out the back, and just as plant waste, and that'll deteriorate, and the minerals that are in it return to the soil. I had my boot in the down position, and when I unfolded it, it tapped the auger wagon, or more than tapped it, it broke it. So, beating it back in place. I was completely unfolded. How are you?
I'm good. Go, Tyler.
I'm Neil.
Neil, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Pretty, isn't she?
Yeah, I think so. Over there look pretty good. Have you ever been in a red machine?
Oh yeah. Okay, we used to run these machines.
You're fairly familiar.
Yeah, I am.
So, because typically.
Oh, the veins move herself now.
Yeah, so it's all automated.
Oh, and that's slick.
It's all part of automation. So.
That'll ruin you right there if you'd be trying to over X9.
It's not as easy on the neck again with the still not too bad. I recommend guys set them up manually and then flip your automation on and go from there. So
okay.
That's where we do that.
All right.
The rest of them up there aren't too important, you know.
Yeah, so today we've shelled corn all day, and Case H&R Agri-Power, some of our good friends, were nice enough to demo us a 8250, which is Case's newest 8 series machine. Super nice machine, great sample. It's got full automation on it, so the machine's really loaded up, really doing a pretty job with the grain sample, and running pretty admirably against the X9. This X9's it's hard to compare an 8 series with an 11 series machine. It's not really a fair comparison, but it is a super nice machine. And if you're looking for a high quality Class 8 combine, I don't think you can go wrong with that case. So the difference is just, it's mostly capacity, grain capacity, cleaning capacity, and like with a 8 series combine versus an 11, you're going to have, or I think a lot of people call this a 10.5, you're going to have, out of an 8, you're going to have less horsepower, not quite as big a grain bin, less cleaning capacity. So like in, in high yielding crops, a class 11 or a class 10, whatever you want to say, will be able to run more ground speed and more thrashing capacity than like a class 8 machine will. Just to give you like a comparison of what the machines will do, the X9 in mid 200 bushel corn can run somewhere around 6.2 miles an hour pretty easily, and the class 8 machine is more like before it starts making 6.2 on the X9 before it starts making losses. The class 8 machine 4 miles an hour or so, and it starts to begin to lose grain. So that kind of gives you a comparison difference of like the difference between a class 8 and a class 11. Case does now have a class 11, 10 and 11 machine that would be comparable to this. There is one running in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, on one of our really good friends, and from what I hear, the capacity is very similar to the X9. They're very compatible machines. So really cool to get to run the case. So I hadn't ran one in a long time, and it's fun just to be back in the seat with one. My favorite thing about the machine that I saw so far was the seat. It had a red leather seat, and it was super comfortable. I really liked I really liked the leather seat. It was nice, yeah. I love my 8RX seat. It's a leather seat as well. That combine's right up there with it. So they say that the 8T, which that is going to be here this coming Monday, as a matter of fact, the 8T wheel, Fent, is more comparable to the X9 than it is the 8250. But I still think the 8T is a little smaller capacity-wise than the X9. Fent does have a combine that I guess they call it the 9T, which would be almost equivalent to this machine, or equivalent to the AF11 or 10 case.
Okay, gotcha.
He was telling me that like this combine that we're in now is a dual rotor machine, so it has 2 rotors. The 8250 has one. The AF9 and 10, which are going to be the new case machines, each have a single rotor, but the AF11 has a dual, like the X9. So if you want to run the biggest case, which is the AF11, you'll go to a 2 rotor like this X9 has. Two rotors, one in motor. It was funny, the case guys pull up and bring the combine in, and instantly the Fent guy comes in the field. They're not behind me, are they? No.
I don't see it. Gotta make sure you don't hit it again.
Yeah, I don't want to hit it again.
It looks
Zach,
like y'all pretty fixed up.
Yeah, Zach salvaged it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I was looking at it earlier, I was like, yeah, that's going to be a new boot, but he got up there and molded it back in place, didn't he? Thanks for watching our YouTube. Hope you enjoyed the John Deere and Case combines in the field together today. Join us again next time. If you catch some more footage, we may have those combines back again together again the next time you're with us. So thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.